Dillion's is one of nearly 30,000 asylum claims made each year.
We are the downgraders. Oh, I weep for the government.
Lawyer Mike McGarvey's fees are paid through legal aid.
For how long did you take to do law?
To do law, is 3-year degree.
So what, you hoping to stay here or you hoping to go back to your country and practice?
I'm from the UK.
Dillion Johnson.
Hi.
Stop flirting.
I'm not actually.
Oh, good boy. Right, come here a minute.
Dillion, part asylum seeker, part media star, part Walter Mitty. You know, he's unusual, he's different, he's got an interest in asylum claim, there's no doubt about it.
To make a successful asylum claim, Dillion must prove he's unable to return home for fear of persecution.
So, you had a screening interview when you arrived at the airport. You claimed
Yes, I
asylum
did.
when you arrived, that's right.
Yes, I did.
This is what you said why you were claiming asylum. You told them you're a homosexual man. He asked you about your sexuality. Quite a lot. And they asked you about your relationship with the Chief Justice of Trinidad and Tobago.
Correct.
You had a sexual relationship of some kind.
Correct.
Everything's fine then until the newspapers and the media start printing stories about you and the Chief Justice.
That's right.
So let's have a brief summary of that then, Sean.
Sure.
I'm right in thinking that all these relate to allegations that he used his position in order to give a company you were working with security contracts.
Yes, you
To
did.
provide personal security for the judges.
Yes, it is. We had the whole Monica Lewinsky scandal that rocked the world. So this one isn't that much, but I'm actually living it.
There's about 20 of these. So the Chief's under a lot of pressure here, isn't he?
All allegations regarding Dillion's case have been denied by the Chief Justice of Trinidad and Tobago.
The whole thing just sort of like opens up and then finally you get a shot and it says who shot Archer's friend Mystery Saran's gun attack on Dillion Johnson.
That's right. I was standing in front of my home and the gentleman pulled out a firearm and started to fire. At which point I ran.
You know, could you just show me again? Yeah. If I remember rightly, yeah, it goes in your wrist
Yeah, it
there.
went in here and it came out
Yeah,
here.
that's right.
It could have been a lot worse. Probably it was a direct intervention from God. It probably just wasn't my time to die.
I've been looking to get your medical report. You have to understand that not everyone's truthful. This is a lot more evidence than I'm used to seeing. There's a lot of information here. You know, we're doing an asylum claim here. We're not investigating attempted murders.
When people bring in a lot of documents, I am really sceptical because I think, why do you need so much material?
I think your case is strongest when it's viewed like this. You are a gay man. Your profile is high. So you could be at risk on return to Trinidad. There is a general hostility towards gay men, right?
Correct.
As you said, 8 have already been killed this year.
It doesn't need to be complicated. We have to assess, you know, is he at risk on return? What are the consequences? You know, is he deserving of protection?
One of the dresses really needs adjustment.
Yes, right.
The silver dress.
Yes.
Can we maybe add a little bit more fabric to the bow here?
Lacking in training and experience, Valeria has employed seamstresses Liliana and Julia to work on the designs to improve her business plan.
And also, you know, the blue dress, the
green.
green, blue, yeah, whatever. I just want to make some adjustments here.
Okay. Couple of years ago, the rules were not as strict. The only thing that they wanted to see was the money. I personally know a lot of people who got their visa without really wanting to open that business. And right now they're out of business, but they have their passports.
So I really want to take this to the Home Office so that I can show them, you know, the fabric, to make it a bit visual for my application. How was your visa? You're from EU, right?
I am from EU, yeah, from
so
Romania.
It's easier from Romania.
Yes.
Yeah, from Romania, sorry, yeah. So you didn't have to go
No.
through this whole process.
No. So what about the rules? They are quite expensive, or you need to...
I mean, yeah, I have to invest £200,000.
Oh my God, it's
Yeah.
quite a lot for a student. Like, no way.
I know, it is a lot.
Any visa for a non-EU citizen will involve spending money. For us, There is no other way of getting a visa in the UK without buying it.
Some people are born with money, some people are born without. I mean, some people are born in the EU, some people are born outside of the EU. So life is not fair. The world generally is not a fair place.
We've had historically unprecedented immigration in the last 20 years or so. It's been beneficial to more affluent people, it's been beneficial to employers, rather less beneficial to people who face more competition in the labour market and more competition for public services and so on. I mean, why should people be able to come here and get care on the NHS for free unless they are entitled to it?
If I want to be alive, then I have to be in UK.
30-year-old Rashid arrived in the UK on a student visa. It expired 5 years ago. Since then, he's been an overstayer.
Growing up in Bangladesh, everything was perfect. My father sold some land to finance me. My plan was to go back to Bangladesh. But when my health condition becomes worse, I decided to apply here leave to remain on medical ground.
6 months into his studies, Rashid was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, a condition which causes inflammation to the lining of the gut.
I can't complete my degree, so my father stopped supporting me and I become homeless as well.
Without a valid visa, Rashid's not entitled to benefits. For the last 4 years, he's been reliant on friends to keep him off the streets.
Sometimes they help me with 10 pounds, 20 pounds in a week, which really helps me. I just call them, can I stay at your house? If they say, yeah, you can stay, then I come.
I don't want to sound like, oh, you know, he's a burden on us, but it does add to the cost of living. But it is a struggle. We're all in this together. A lot of the friends, again, they're all in very similar situations in terms of they're waiting for visas.
Rashid has been receiving free NHS care. He's waiting to appeal a Home Office refusal to grant status on medical grounds.
The medicine I'm taking now is not available in Bangladesh. I have to stay here, I have to get a treatment continue, and I have to be in UK.
Specialist immigration barrister Usman Noor has taken on his case.
Rashid came into my office seeking legal representation. He didn't have any money to be able to pay, but due to the urgent situation that he was in, I decided to provide that representation without charge.
Hello, Rashid. Hello, good to see you. Yeah, same here, sir. Yeah, I'm good.
Come on. There is a huge access to justice gap between the wealthy and the poor in immigration law.
After a series of failed visa applications, a date to appeal Rashid's case in court has finally arrived.
All right, so big day's approaching. We're going to be in court. It's been 3 years, and we've been through a lot. For the Home Office, the procedural history to this case is a disaster. Firstly, they mistook your identity.
Yeah, exactly.
They said it was a Tier 1 entrepreneur visa application, then retracted that after many complaints and writing. They then started talking about an English language test certificate, which has never been submitted.
Exactly.
2 years after making the application, they finally come up with a decision. That decision, as you know, was a refusal, but we have this right of appeal. The UK is signed up to the Convention on Human Rights. Okay. Article 3 of that convention prohibits torture, inhumane and degrading treatment. Our argument is that due to the severity of your medical condition, for the UK to remove you to Bangladesh would be inhumane. Now, this area of law is actually very hotly contested at the moment.
Okay, understood.
The House of Lords said that for someone to succeed, they need to be basically on their deathbed in the UK. The European Court on Human Rights has said actually they don't need to be on their deathbed in this country. The Home Office, though, are disagreeing about their responsibility for you, right? And they're saying you need to be on your deathbed right now. Okay. But you're not, clearly. This easier test is the right test, and you should be eligible to remain in the UK.
Inshallah.
That's what this case is going to be all about.
Will I be asked a question by judge or?
you will be asked to give evidence. All right? Very good that you've got a very detailed statement already.
Yeah,
all right?
okay.
Read that statement again in detail. There is no innocent before guilty concept in immigration law. I've done this so many times to know not to give predictions about whether we're going to win or lose. The reality is you never know.